Hey you guys, congratulations on making it through Unit 1. We're on to Unit 2 now. First things first, this is my dog, Isla. She has insisted on being in this video. She's either in the frame or she's barking, so I apologize for that. So we're done with Unit 1, and if you remember, the last video that we had for Unit 1 introduced epistemology, which is the study of theories of knowledge. And we said that that was one of the main branches of philosophy. Another main branch of philosophy, as we talked about, is logic. And logic is, of course, going to be not only one of the main topics of our class, but the foundation for everything else that we're going to be doing in our class. So it's really important, and it's really cool. Just for good measure, the other two main branches in philosophy are value theory, which is the study of things that humans value, and metaphysics, which in that field you ask questions about the nature of reality. And we're going to put a pin in those for now. We'll come back to them at the end of the semester, right before the final. We'll just kind of have some fun, talk about other things in philosophy. But for now, we're just going to focus on logic. That's the topic of our second unit. So logic is really important. It's really important in being able to understand and construct good arguments. So of course, that's going to be the focus of our class. That's what we're going to talk about. That's how we're going to apply logic. But it's also really important in computer science. So logic really is to computer science what calculus is to engineering. So if any of you have any interest in computer science, either as a profession or just a passing interest in it, logic is going to be really important to being able to understand or do really anything with computer science. Logic is also not only a subfield in philosophy, but a subfield in mathematics. And in fact, if you look at all the dudes who are credited with bringing forth our contemporary system of logic, you'll see that a lot of them were mathematicians and philosophers. So you have George Boole. If you've heard of Boolean algebra, it's that Boole. He was a mathematician and a philosopher. Gottlob Frege gave us our first real pass at a system of logic, or at our contemporary system of logic. He was a really bad dude, but he did do a lot in the way of starting the system of logic, so we recognize his name for that. He was a mathematician and a philosopher. And Bertrand Russell, whose name you actually might recognize, he's had a little bit more press than most philosophers. He was a philosopher and a mathematician, and he honed the system that Frege developed into something that looks a lot more like the system that we're going to look at and that we're going to study in this class. So philosophy intersects with computer science and math at this point of logic, and it's really cool. So yeah, logic is a lot like math, but so what? Math is cool, and logic is like all the really fun parts of math, like puzzles and stuff. And I'm here to help you with whatever you need, any questions that you have, and I think it's going to be really great. We're going to have fun. There's really nothing to worry about, even if you have some sort of math anxiety. So if you look through your textbook, there is some like really scary looking stuff a few pages in, and you might look at it and wonder how you could possibly in 20 pages learn how to do that stuff. But don't worry, it's really cool, and we're totally going to learn how to do it in 20 pages. You can do it. I'm here to help, and it's going to be great. Yeah, so those of you who really dislike math, just don't worry about it. Just keep in touch with me if you have any questions or problems, and I'll break things down for you. We'll work through it together. It's going to be great. I'm really pumped. You should be psyched. It's going to be awesome. So that's your introduction to logic. It's really great. And go ahead and watch the next videos for this week. They're going to be important for making sense of the reading. Make sure that you're making connections to the reading as we go. And yeah, if you weren't taking notes in the videos before this, you should start taking notes in videos now. That will be important. So okay, go on, be logicians, and let me know if you have any questions.